I also want to say a big, big thank you to President Donald Trump for being here tonight. Can I get Hey, what do you guys think about my version of the Donald Trump? Take it out. USA! USA!
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz in the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line, and we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination.
You're going to stop it right there. My man is not playing around. Saul, you sent it to me. Set it off.
This is the official counteroffensive, declaration of war, and actually codifying our ability to, speak publicly here in a public square, and that, this is about trying to conceal information versus, transparency that real democracy kind of, and a lot of the shit that they wanted to do with that smiling ass, fake ass smile, versus somebody who appears to be the villain is actually somebody who's closer to promoting, our nation's ideals than everybody else with their own agendas and weird stuff going on. I think that in retrospect, once 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever the case may be, they may very well label this era another Red Scare. I mean, there needs to be some sort of house of un-American, activities or whatever the case may be to get on each and every one of their ass piece by piece by piece, because this is just a flagrant disregard for, open information and stuff like that. There's been organizations that are nonprofits actually endorsing candidates. You have news organizations not giving balanced and objective information and, vilifying to the point of election interference and stuff like that. As per Cheeto would say, in-kind benefits and things like that. So yeah, Donald Trump, it's about time. We've given this guy, permission to not only exact revenge, but also restore order. And I'll land my plane there.
Well played, Tito. And you've often spoke of the managerial class and the deep state. This is a direct shot. He telling them off the gate, I'm coming for your neck. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, it almost sounds like somebody gave him a link to that live I did called Google. Hey Google, your slip is showing. Everything I said, from the in-kind donations to antitrust violation.
You mentioned the hatch. You mentioned the Hatch Act.
All of that, yeah. The abuse of Section 230, all of that shit. Yeah. They you know what? At this time, for all of those that's cloud watching, if you're a Google employee or if you're an employee at Meta, I would encourage you to find a number to your nearest field office and go in there before you end up inside of one of them investigations. That's what I would encourage you to do, because I don't think that he's playing. I really don't think he's playing. And you got to realize something, that a lot of people are nonchalant about things that happen online, but this is what people have to realize. is that online spaces represent the modern public square, right? So the shadow banning, the arbitrary removal of channels, the all of the little pussy ass little ticky tack shit that they do on TikTok, where you make you put clown emojis up there, flag it down, all of that shit. This represents the modern public square. So if you are really limiting somebody's speech, or it's a preponderance of evidence that shows that you favor one set of opinions over another, and you picking winners or losers, that is a fundamental civil rights violation, because you're violating their First Amendment rights, you're violating their Sixth Amendment rights, you're violating their Ninth Amendment rights, and you're violating their 14th Amendment rights, right? And then when you add into the fact that it's one thing that President Trump left off of there, and that's defrauding the United States government, because you are not meeting the standards of neutrality, like you mentioned before. So for every tax dollar that you aren't charged, just like ABC, NBC, and CBS and ESPN are, you're defrauding the United States government.
Well played, right?
And wait a minute, and what he missed out on in Google's case, and I would love to see this. I might need if the shareholders of Google were to ever bring a securities fraud case against them, I might not need no more pussy for 2 months. That's how satisfied I would be, because they have been lying to their shareholders for years now. You can't tell your shareholders you lying to your shareholders if you're saying that you're doing everything to make this business profitable as you possibly can, when you're running away revenue generating content creators who are also your customers themselves.